You know it live, right? Uh, just making sure you know.
I know.
Mm. Shout out to Solid Steps to Wealth for becoming a 500K earner. We appreciate you. Why you couldn't be on the other side?
Because technically, if you go to share a screen, it's just going to be me on there, or if I zoom in. So I switch positions because it gives you the primary position when it comes to cameras. There's a camera one and there's a camera two
I want to be camera two.
in the dashboard.
I want to be camera two.
That's why. Does that answer your question?
No, I just told you I want to be camera two. I think I should be camera two. I don't see what the problem is.
Nothing. Nothing's the problem.
I know.
Nothing's the problem. How are you this evening?
I'm all right.
Are you?
Hmm. I feel
Are you?
like I feel like Mr. Rogers. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. Won't you be mine?
This
Could
light
you
is so
be
bright in my face.
my neighbor? Make my There we go. So we can be even. What's
So we
going
can
on?
be even.
Yeah,
Sit back.
I am back.
No, you're not.
I am.
You can't be if your arms are resting on the desk.
Yeah,
You
but
can't be sitting down.
I have to maneuver the screen.
No,
I
just pull
can't
it
sit back
forward.
like here and do that. Nah,
Just
that don't work
pull
for
the
me.
screen forward.
So I'll get closer.
But you want to be the same height. I'm taller. It's not a problem. I don't
What's
know. I
going
don't
on,
know
Bella?
why.
You're giving me Jermaine Dupree energy right now with them socks.
Big man. Big man.
you you're giving me the lollipop kid energy with them socks.
Ooh. See how you did that, man?
Hey, that's what they said on the internet.
And you repeating it.
I'm repeating it because it's already been spoken. It's already been put out into the
But you
universe.
didn't have to affirm that.
No, I can
You could have
read.
been like, JD, that's my man's in them. He was killing them with the socks.
Listen,
He was killing them with the Boston Tea
listen.
parties. Could have
See,
said that.
look at you. See, look
But
at
no.
he was killing them with the Boston
It
Tea
was
Party.
designer. You could have said that.
He was giving last night. He was
He
giving
he gave.
he was
He
giving
gave. Baby boss
lollipop kid.
gave. Baby
He was
boss
get
realness.
That's right. He was looking at you, baby boss. See?
Baby boss realness. He gave.
See?
Designer. He just needed one of them little. Did he have a little tie on? He had a little tie on too, huh?
How tall is Jermaine Dupri? I tried the same height.
No, I'm taller.
No, they say Jermaine Dupri is 5'4".
And I'm 5'4.5". I'm standing next to the man. I am taller than he is. They are being generous.
Oh, okay, they say 5'3.5".
I'm telling
Oh
you,
no.
I'm stood next to that man. Hey, come on.
Then it say between 5'2" and 5'3".
Either way it goes.
So what you saying is if we go back to the 90s, to the 99 and the 2000s, we're gonna see you in a video with Jermaine Dupri?
No. I was
Is
about
that
to
what
call
you
you
saying?
I was about to call you something else. No.
Oh,
No.
we gonna see you out
We've
there
been
with
in the
Jermaine.
same place, in the same places
Was
together.
you resting
Not
your
in the
arms on
video.
his or you resting your arms on his shoulders?
No,
Okay.
I was not.
Okay.
No, I was not. But I'm actually
Did you put a drink on his head and it walked off?
Tamika, that's disrespectful.
I'm just asking a question. It's yes or no. It's just yes or no.
That's not nice.
It's yes or no. You didn't answer the question.
No, I did not.
Okay, that's it. That's all you had to say. Estella, it's okay. It's okay. Sadie, it's okay to laugh. You can laugh. C. Johnson said he is not 5 feet.
See, I stood next to the man. I know his cousin. His cousin used to get me in all the spots.
Debauchery. Debauchery.
Good times.
Anyway, how are you?
Good times. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good. Today was the first day of no sugar, um,
Mm.
no pasta,
No ice
no
cream
flour, no
sandwiches.
rice, no sweets. I didn't have it. I had anything. I had Brussels sprouts for dinner.
Mm.
I'm drinking
Gassel sprouts. Yeah, gassel sprouts for dinner.
mm,
Gassel
mm,
sprouts.
such a hater. They were delicious.
Bombastic.
Bombastic.
That's what she
Bombastic side parts.
That's
No,
what
no, no. I got my chlorophyll. I'm feeling good. I didn't have my chlorophyll for a while. It was feeling weird.
mm,
It was feeling weird. But I got my soup, my rations out the freezer, so I had some soup for lunch.
mm.
I didn't have any fruit today though. I
I had a
did have
burger and a
coffee.
salad for dinner.
Hmm?
I had a burger and a salad for dinner.
Oh yeah, no.
No fries.
I'm spreading like the world trade. Got to bring it back on down.
It's all good. So tonight is gonna be a good night for those that don't know. If you didn't catch Eric Coffee show on with the Department of Energy, I'm gonna replay that show. I'm gonna break it down a little bit more. That was live tonight, but tonight we got a special treat.
Do we?
Mm,
Me? Am I the treat?
no, no gaseous clay.
He's such a hater. He's such a hater. Such a hater.
No
Actually,
gaseous,
yesterday on there, I had it. Not today. Today I'm good.
no gaseous clay. No.
I need to detox. You gonna
So
detox with me? If I buy the detox, are you gonna detox with me?
sure,
That's a no.
you asked me, I answered. I said sure.
Last time we tried to detox, you didn't do none of the detox.
I did. I did the first 2 days, and then I was out.
It was for 12.
I know. I did the first two. More you want from a player?
Accountability partner.
Well, you can't have an accountability partner and go to the conference. It don't work that way.
We wasn't detoxing at the conference.
I left to go to a conference. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, it should have been easy to abstain at the conference. They don't serve nothing but cardboard and lettuce anyway.
No, they serve everything else. See, you don't. You stay at the conference. I go with the people and eat.
That's not facts. Heather can back that up. That's not facts.
Heather was with me the last time. She was the one that we was munching down at Port Works conference. At the Port Works they had pizza, hamburgers, veggies.
IQ con.
Yeah.
Right. I was on my way out to get some food and you was like, "Why we not getting nothing here? Ain't
No,
nothing in
we was on. No, this is before you came.
here."
We were me and Heather were we were pre gaming.
This is not when I was trying to detox, Tamika.
What one I'm trying to you say that you Heather could tell you back it up. I'm just trying to tell you this. Yeah.
I'm saying when I'm there, I like to go out to eat. Like I am exit stage left for the food.
They have Brussels sprouts at some of the, like, if they order some of them, if somebody got a special menu, but most time no. Right
No, and I
now,
don't want
cute.
no cold Brussels sprouts and, like, chopped up in a salad, like, that's just
Nah,
savage.
no, the no, the new thing at QCon now is grab and go. You get a sandwich in a bag and the chicken be cold. I'm like, who eating this? This is disgusting.
Like I said, nothing's ever gonna beat that first Red Hat conference. That
This
was
is
the best.
disgusting.
That was the best. They were rolling in and out the stuff. They was just we be at the, they just roll it in. Oh, what station is this? What station is that? What, is it happy hour? Roll it in, roll it on out.
Oh, I don't want no cold sandwich. This is ridiculous. I'm gonna have to talk to Angela about that.
That's terrible.
That's disgusting.
How is everybody tonight on a Monday? I had the Mondays today too at work.
Cold and element, yes. D left me high and dry.
That's not how that reads. That's not how that reads. It say D, they left you high and dry.
Oh well, yeah, we did leave you high and dry. She wasn't there. Cute calm food was made for folks who think mayo is spicy. It was disgusting.
That's terrible. Yeah, and I'm headed to the bar. Like that's where I'm at. Where you, I'm going to go sit at.
But that was the thing at the Port Works joint. We had the bar. We had it on lock,
That's where I'm going. I'm going to the bar. Where are you going? To the bar I pass.
and
Like
it was open bar, top
after a
shelf.
while, D has to go tap out. D is going to tap out. Just
Mm.
letting you know. Meet me at the bar.
All right, so tonight we're gonna get your pen, get your paper, get your fingers ready because we're doing a deep dive on Linux. We're gonna do a deep dive on product management, product owner, a good foray into Red Hat. I did not write any notes for this. We just gonna go page by page for right now, and then I'm gonna wrap this up into a couple of series that we're gonna do, that we're gonna go over and so forth. So, um, yeah, you ready? D, are you ready?
Not really.
Okay. No fun night tonight.
I don't like that smile. It looked like the people on the show we was just watching. They're gonna eat you. I don't like that face.
All right. So Red Hat was founded in 1994 by
Mhm.
Bob Young and Mark Ewing with the goal of providing products and services based on open source software. Now, here's the thing: when it comes to open source, a lot of people are like, "Hey, I want to get onto an open source project. I want to do this. I want to do that." Or you want to implement one of those projects into your production systems. Well, here's the thing: a lot of people don't want those open source projects in their production systems unless it has support. So, when Linux actually first hit the scene, like when you start talking about going back to Debian and Red Hat and so forth, um, I think, what was it, 2000? Let me see. First Red Hat exam. It used to be just the RECE exam. It used to be just the RECE. It was never RECSA and then RECE. It was just the RECE. Um Let me see. First RHCE exam. I want to say that came about in the 2000s. So yeah, RECE was the first Red Hat certificate launched in 1999. Yeah, 1999. As of July 29th, 2009, there are 40,000. That was 2009. So it's probably a little bit more than that now, of course. Right. And then because the success rate of RHCE, like the RHCE was like the prestigious thing to have. And then they realized like people weren't really passing it and they needed more engineers, more Red Hat engineers. And then they broke it down into the RHCSA. And the RHCSA in, was different than what the RHCE is now. Now the RHCE now is Ansible. That used to be something else. They used to be like just the RCSA. In fact, let me hold on, D. Take me down for a second. Hold on. Take me down for a second, D.
Oh gosh.
So yeah, so the RHCE, I am looking for my notebook. Here we go, right here. All right, so I got it right here. The RH 300. This is over rail 5. This is rail 5. We're on rail what 9
9.
something? Maybe going in. I think 10, maybe a preview or something. I got to go back. We're going to find out tonight. But the RHCE used to be, it didn't have containers. There were no containers. It was very heavy on SE Linux, very heavy on rebooting your actual machine, really heavy on uh, uh, IP tables, really heavy on your network services and so forth. Samba, FTP, mail services. It was really, 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 really one of those things, right? And so you fast forward now, it has now been broken out. The RCE is now your Ansible, and your RCSA is broken up into two parts, which is actually probably a little easier. And it's the same thing for the CCNA. The CCNA used to be all one big exam, and then they broke it into two exams, right? So, um, why am I talking about this? All right.
Like, where are we going?
No, it's a reason. It's
No, I'm
the
just joking. I got jokes.
Okay. The reason why I'm talking about this is because I see a lot of people online, and I'm glad people are starting to talk about it. They talk about, hey, what's the best exams to get? And I hear it all the time: the holy trinity, the trifecta, the A plus, the security plus, the network plus. You never hear me endorse those things over here. I may say security plus if you're going after government contracting, but if you're not working in subcontracting, government contracting, the DoD space, no one cares about your security plus. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just giving you the truth. So, from my perspective, this is not nobody else's perspective. This is not me endorsing Red Hat. To me, it just made more sense for you to get a Linux certification, in particular Red Hat. If you feel like you want to go off and do the Linux Plus, be my guest. If you want to do the LPIC, be my guest. If you even want to go out and do the LFCS, be my guest. What I do know is, from my perspective, the Red Hat certification is well known. Is it well known in the DoD space? Yes. Is it well known in data centers and hosting companies? Yes. Is Ubuntu, SUSE well known in other spaces? Absolutely. However, when it comes to I am building out my infrastructure, people tend to lean to things that are well known and have support. So that's why I endorse Red Hat. I also endorse Red Hat because I feel like, just my own opinion, it has led to, am I being an ass when I say this?
If you got to think about it, yes.
It has led to me being able to make millions. Let me say it that way. And I'm saying it from a perspective of like, oh my God, somebody cut me a check from 1 million. I'm not saying that. I'm saying over time. I'm saying that it is one of the things I think that doesn't get talked about. It is just now really picking up steam. Even before the Linux Academy, I was always Linux. I've been Linux. I've always started that. That's just my thing.
Now when you say Linux, and we have this question that happens all the time, it's like, what flavor of Linux?
That's why I say
And
Red Hat.
I, I know you say Red Hat, right? But it being enterprise software, that's widely known. And then when people want to debate you on Red Hat Linux, what are like your number three things you say why you use Red Hat Linux? Did you start on Red Hat Linux? Has it always been Red Hat Linux for you?
No, I actually started out on SUSE Linux, but it was at the time when I bought my computer from my lab partner while I was studying for my CCNA. I wanted my SUSE Linux box to look like my Red Hat box. I mean, my SUSE Linux box to look like my Windows box. I could not find a lot of help online for SUSE Linux. I then went to the bookstore. This is back when Barnes and Nobles was the thing. And Red Hat Linux was on the shelf, and I bought it off the shelf. And I was like, oh, let me try this one because it had a book associated with it. It was back in the day. There were not a lot of Linux books. There were not a lot of Linux content out there. So I started with let me get something that can accommodate my learning as well too. So for me, Red Hat has had been that thing. Now when I got started with Red Hat Linux, that was 2001, 2002. So
Ooh, Heather is
again,
trying it out there.
yeah,
Look at what Heather
oh,
said.
I saw a bookstore. Yeah, a
Yes,
bookstore.
Barnes and Nobles.
A bookstore.
We would go
So
to Barnes and the Nobles.
we're going to do this roundabout loop here tonight. Please take notes. I'll ask questions. I'll answer questions later. You just have to keep up with the questions because I'm a go through this and you're going to get lost. You're going to have to play this back. You're going to have to listen to what I'm saying as I go through this. Okay. So, first things first, you all have to start looking at things from a product perspective. Now, I talked about this on before, but let's go down this route. All right. I have up on the screen now the scaled agile framework, right? And so this framework, you could drop me in the back, D. This framework has two things that I really, really want to focus in on. One is right here. Let me blow it up a little bit. All right, here we go. Right here. We have product management right here, and we have product owner. And you're like, what is the difference between the two? And why we're talking about this? If you look at Linux in terms of Red Hat, SUSE, um, even I guess Debian, any of those, they're all products. You got to look at it from a product perspective. They're all products, right? So now, when we look at what a product owner is, we scroll up and make this smaller. All right. So a product owner, and this is dealing in the agile space. A product owner is the agile team member primarily responsible for maximizing the value delivered by the team by ensuring that the team backlog is aligned with the customer and the stakeholders' needs. Now, I'm gonna read it again, and then we're gonna go a little deeper. The product owner is the agile team member primarily responsible for maximizing the value delivered by the team by ensuring that the team backlog is aligned with the customer and the stakeholders' needs. All right, who do you think are the customers or or stakeholders when it comes down to Red Hat Linux or any Linux itself? Who do you think the stakeholders are? Somebody is paying support for Linux on something, right? So if I go to Red Hat and I purchase Red Hat Linux and something doesn't work and I don't pay for support, then I'm relying on my team. But first things first, I'm relying on that I'm getting a solid a solid product that works out the box, out the gate. Now, who are the customers? The customers could be you yourself. The customers could be a company. The customers could be an entity or department within a company. The customers could be internal to the company. The customers could be external to the company. That is what we're looking at when we're talking about the customer itself. So,
Okay, can we back? I got a question
yeah,
for some people that still might not understand that Red Hat Linux has a you can they have managed support services. So you're able to purchase support for your company if you have issues with the product.
yeah, I'm not. I haven't finished yet, but yeah, yeah. So, all right. So now we have a product owner. What is a product manager? Let's go over here. Product manager. All right. Product management is the function responsible for defining desirable, viable, feasible, and sustainable solutions that meet the customer needs and supporting the development across the product lifecycle, right? So I could be a product manager that says, "Hey, the customer has to deploy 200 Linux desktops, and those 200 Linux desktops that they need to deploy, we need to make sure that they have some type of support around them, some type of backup around them, some type of some type of support in case we can't solve the problem. We can bring them in to solve the problem. That's what we're paying support for. We're also paying support for the security of the product. I go buy this product, you telling me that when I buy this, it's secure. Same way when y'all buy Apple products, it's the same way when you buy Windows product. There's a level of trust and a level of security that goes along with that. Everybody clear on this? Put a one in the chat. Make sure we're clear on this. All right. So we got a product manager and a product owner. Now let's go look at Red Hat Enterprise Linux. All right. And I'll read it off from here and then I'll click on it. A stable, high performance Linux platform with built in security and management features to help you run critical workloads anywhere in the hybrid cloud. Now, we're going to switch gears just a little bit. Just a little bit. All right. So, what you just read was a vision statement. That vision statement said, and it's a product vision statement. I'm trying to put things in your head to understand that everything you're looking at, you say you're going into cybersecurity. I say you're going into cybersecurity to utilize a product that solves a customer's need and protects a customer from external or internal uh bad actors, as we like to say. That you think you're going into cybersecurity for a career move. I'm saying you're going into cybersecurity for a career and a product perspective. And when you start looking at things from like, how do these things, how can I use these products to solve a problem? Or how were these products made? What problems does this customer have? You'll start seeing things in a whole different light. All right. So, product vision. Let's go here. And so we're gonna talk about it here. 8 great product vision examples. All right. So let's start from the top. Um, any progress starts with a mission or a vision, right? Any progress starts with a mission or a vision. Yeah, yeah. Get out the way. All right. So not our words. They are words of the modern era's great thinkers Arnold Schwarzenegger and yeah, Arnie's right. It's difficult to build a business without a clear vision of where you're headed and what it is you're trying to achieve. It's the same thing you all should be looking at for your own career. What is your vision? What are you trying to achieve? How does this align? Where are you going? What are your goals? Right? And it says this is where a vision statement comes into play. In product development, a vision statement sets our grand plans and aims for the product. What what you would like to do, who would do it for you, and what that will mean for the world at large. All right, so we go back over here. Red Hat Linux, a stable, high performance Linux platform, keyword there, platform, with built in security and management features to help you run critical workloads anywhere in the hybrid cloud. Does that sound like a vision statement to you? D, did that sound like a vision statement to you? All right, so let's go. All right, it says here articulating a vision is a surefire way to sort the signal from the noise when it comes to the product road mapping. So every Red Hat product, and basically any product, but in this particular instance, we're talking about Red Hat, has a product roadmap. All right. There is a product roadmap. All right. So you're probably bone tired of people throwing the phrase North Star around willy nilly. I say that all the time, but that's pretty much what the vision statement is. It'll guide you through the murky waters of the feature requests, budget constraints, stakeholder demands. It's what you lock your sights on to find out the direction travel. So let's get down here to some examples of product vision examples. So let's clap down here. Disney, an example to be it's their vision statement to be one of the world's leading producers and providers of entertainment and information. Amazon, to be Earth's most customer centric company where customers can find and discover anything they may want to buy online. Can you go to Amazon and buy anything? You can buy cars on Amazon, you can buy houses on Amazon, you can do banking on Amazon, right? Apple, to make the best products on earth and to leave the world better than we found it. What is your vision statement say? What does your vision statement say for your career path? What does that look like? How are you putting that together? I'm trying to set you up to be either 1099, a consultant, or W-2, or all three. And you may go through all three of those. You may go through all three iterations. All right. All right, so let's go back over here to Red Hat. All right, Red Hat Linux. Here we go. We got the value, we got features, we got subscription benefits. Let's blow this up. Red Hat Linux provides more than an operating system. It also connects you to Red Hat's extensive hardware, software, and cloud partner ecosystem and comes with 24 by 7 support. Red Hat Enterprise Linux is 9.3 is our latest, but with access to all supported versions with a 10-year life cycle. You can upgrade on your schedule and adopt new features when needed. All right. And they talk about why choose Linux. Then they get into the actual architectures that they support right here. That's important. That's one of the things you need to know. What do they support? Because you may get something and they don't support, right? All right. So now let's go up here and let's go look at this. Don't want to go there. Mm, yeah, let's go here. All right. So with Red Hat Linux, you could get Red Hat Linux Server or Red Hat Linux Enterprise Linux, Red Hat Enterprise Linux Server, or Red Hat Enterprise Linux for workstations. For workstation. Basically your laptops, your desktops, right? You can do that. All right. So let's go back over here. So a lot of people are like, well, Red Hat cost and I don't want to pay for it. Well, Red Hat has a developer's license. You can go and sign up for a developer's license and get you, I think it's 15 subscriptions that'll connect you back to Red Hat's satellite server. I'm not gonna go over the satellite server tonight, but it connects you back to satellite server so you can get updates from various repos when you elect to subscribe to their server. Now, there was a time where CentOS was upstream and so forth. And I think that has now been switched over to Rocky Linux. And then there's still Fedora that's out there. I wonder if they're gonna ever kill Fedora. I don't know. We'll see. I ain't gonna put it out there in the air yet. But Red Hat Linux is the flavor of choice here. All right, so now let's get into the life cycle. All right. So here, what I'm showing here, if we go look at, let me go life cycle and policy updates. All right. So with Red Hat, and I should go back to products. Let me do that. I'm just gonna rattle off the products because I think that'll help y'all out. Okay. So we have various sets of products when it comes to Red Hat. Let's go to see all products. Okay, we got Red Hat Linux, we have OpenShift, which you can consider a platform. You also have Red Hat Automation Platform. That's where your Ansible comes into play. That's when the GitOps flow comes into play. But you can use Ansible Core without Ansible Platform. Ansible Core is like, hey, I download and installed the binary. I set up some SSH keys. I deliver those SSH keys to the other machines. I then use Ansible in that fashion to communicate and change things or get information from that box or what have you. Right. And to do some manipulation with. But there's other products in Red Hat's portfolio that doesn't get talked about. I've done stuff on this before, but there's Red Hat OpenStack, there's Red Hat OpenShift, there's Satellite Server, there's OpenShift AI, there is Ansible, event driven Ansible, there's Insights, that's high performance computing, there's Rosa, which is OpenShift on AWS. You also have OpenShift on Azure. You have here you got cluster security for Kubernetes. You got advanced cluster management for Kubernetes. You have self storage. You got directory server, which is another big one. There is a there is a space in particular in the Red Hat realm where all you do is study their products and work. You want to get a job and you want to be employed forever? Go study various Red Hat products, get certifications in them, implement those things at a company. and just stay in that realm. You don't even have to work for Red Hat for that. You could go do that on your own. I'm just showing you a different perspective because everybody wants to run out here and get all these certs, but you don't know how they apply in the real world. So it behooves you to learn a baseline level with Linux. If you're gonna get do security plus, do security plus, then roll over and then get you a job working at I don't know a help desk or government or whatever the case may be. Roll into your RHCE, get your Ansible stuff, learn OpenShift or Kubernetes. If you want to be agnostic, just learn Kubernetes, and then you can throw OpenShift on top of that. You want to work for the next 10 years? There you go. You can strictly be with Red Hat and work for the next 10 years. Right. All right. So let's get back to it. All right. So with all the products that are on this page, I'm going to give you my my go-to that I know people look for right now. And Heather can back me up on this if you want to. All right. So let's start at the top here. OpenStack usually is working with a telco system that's very niche. I wouldn't say OpenStack off the top, but I would say it wouldn't hurt if you had it. However, I would run with OpenShift before OpenStack, but it didn't hurt if you had it. All right. Um, if you wanted to learn anything along the lines of the OpenShift stuff, that's cool. You want to go with Microsoft Azure and Red Hat and OpenShift, run with that. If you want to go with satellite, run with that. If you want to go with directory server, I would say it is customer dependent because that is IDM, which is triple SD connected back to probably Active Directory, where the machines on the Linux side authenticate to a Linux box, which may be a Linux server, a IDM server that's connected back to Active Directories to do group policies or whatnot. Is it critical and is it important? Sure, but is it something that you're gonna see all the time? It is very customer dependent. So I want to run with that off the rip, right? Enterprise Linux, absolutely. Self storage, it's a hit or miss if somebody's using self or not. Could you be in a storage arena and learn self? Yeah. Would it be like, oh my God, I got this on my resume, somebody gonna hire me tomorrow? Probably not. Right. And most definitely Ansible platform, right? And they have Ansible platform for Azure. Those are my go-tos that I know people are hiring for. Right. That's what I know people are hiring for. All right. All right, so that's the products that they have that I think are important. All right, so now I want to do this. RHCA, right? And let's go here and we're going to look strictly at um for those that just want to do just a Linux cert. I think I got to go to the other page there. Let me look. Cause some of y'all may just want to learn I just want to be Linux all day, every day. I don't want to do nothing else. You want to do all Linux products. Let's event driven Kafka, OpenShift, DevOps. I'm looking just for the straight Linux stuff. That's hybrid cloud, DevOps container. It must be down here somewhere. All right, here we go, right here. Straight Linux. If you want to be that. Okay, if you want to do just straight Linux, I mean, and when I say straight Linux, meaning like you're doing performance tuning, you're doing clustering, and this gets into like your high availability, high performance computing. You're just this is it. Ansible, Linux, performance tuning, diagnostics. This your thing. You the guru in this. They call on you when they're trying to solve a problem, right? So you could do Linux diagnostics. You could do performance tuning. You could do identity management. Yeah, you could do identity management. You could do identity management. You could do high availability clustering. You could do deployment of systems and management. You could do Ansible best practices and automation, and you could also do Red Hat specialist in security with Linux, right? So why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because there are times in Linux where in your career where you could be laser focused on Linux. You could be laser focused on Linux and security. You could be laser focused on security. You could be laser focused on Kubernetes. You could be laser focused on cloud. You could be laser focused on cloud security and Linux. You could be cloud security. You could be automation. You could be like, to me, just my own personal experience, my own career, my own path. I have I have used it to explore everything that I have mentioned. If I want to go automation, I'm gonna go to Ansible. I'm gonna dive into a couple of classes on it. Come out, boom, I'm running Ansible. I'm done. Oh, I want to do performance tuning with Linux. Okay, well, that means I need to be familiar with kernels and processes. That means I need to be familiar with modules, and I need to be familiar with how these applications getting deployed. I need to be familiar with how what standard libraries are being used. Okay, all right, so I need to get into that. If I'm dealing with identity management, that means I'm having something run on my system that's going to provide some type of authentication. Word of advice, triple SD. If your time is off, it's gonna fail. So you got to make sure that that clock is not out of sync. So using NTP to make sure your clocks are in sync, because it will fail, right? So those are the type of things that I've seen. I'm speaking pure straight Linux. I'm not talking about I'm doing Kubernetes. I'm not talking about none of that. So let's dive off into just pure straight Linux. I cannot speak for Susie and its product and its path, but I can look it up. But I cannot speak to that because I don't see that in production systems most of the time. I just don't. All right. So let's go. Let's go over here and look at get my mouse over here. All right, Linux diagnostics and troubleshooting. All right. As an IT professional who is a Red Hat certified specialist in Linux diagnostics and troubleshooting, and I think some of these went away and this page ain't been updated, but that's neither here nor there. I have to look into it. Has demonstrated the skills, knowledge, and abilities needed to diagnose and correct common issues that affect Red Hat Linux servers. All right, so here's some skills that you would have to have, that they want you to have, that you should get out of this, that you should just have just automatically. To me, if you call yourself a Linux admin, if you call yourself a Linux cyber cloud admin, you should know how to troubleshoot, right? Understanding and employ general methods of troubleshooting, diagnostic troubleshooting system startup issues, diagnostic troubleshooting file system issues. Are my read writes too slow? Are my read writes off? Am I not getting the output that I thought I was supposed to be getting? Diagnosing and resolving package management issues. You should know how what package is in what repos, how to get those repos set up, how to get those repos is installed and set up, and then the packages installed, and troubleshoot what issues you may have with those packages as far as dependencies. Knowing the difference between RPM, YUM, DNF, the whole nine. What goes what where, how to download those, how to install them, right? Even how to use the hash to make sure that and verify that those packages are what they say they are, right? Troubleshooting and fixing networks connectivity issues. You should know how to bond NICs. You should understand how to get the most throughput on it. You should understand the speed of NICs, fiber. You should understand that as well too. Infoband, all that stuff. Something you should know. Diagnose the application issues. An application could be ran in Ruby. It could be ran in Python. It could be ran in Node.js or JavaScript. It could be ran in anything. You should be able to decipher and walk through and read errors and say, oh, it's missing this particular library. Oh, it's missing this. Oh, it's missing that. Get that back to the developer. And you and the developer should be able to talk through that and work that out, right? Next thing up, identifying, fixing authentication issues. You should be able, hey, am I authenticating to a Active Directory server? Am I authenticating to a Linux box? What is that? Is it not set up for a Active Directory or whatnot? And then gathering information to aid third party investigation issues, logs, running SOS reports or SAR reports. You should be able to do that, right? That should be you just before you even get into it, this should be like your number one thing. That should be your number one thing. You should know how to do that. Just my opinion. All right, let me go back and read the comments here. Needed that was still considering leaving tech and product and leaving tech. I don't know why you was gonna do that. I don't like the fact that when I went back, it does not give me my page. All right. I know it was at the bottom. Hold on. Let me go down to the bottom here. All right. So performance tuning, identity management, high availability cluster deployment system management, automation, advanced automation. But let's look at Linux and security, right? All right. So here, let's go with objectives. So here we got understanding Ansible engine, right? On a control node. That sounds like I'm installing Ansible on a node. I'm gonna do some managing some nodes, some simple inventory, some basic management systems, create a playbook. Um, I'm gonna probably use Ansible to install a configure a AIDE encryption with the storage. You should know how to do that. USB in case you need a you. I don't know too many. Well, there are some people that use USB, but most people probably remote load their systems. But in some cases, you may use USB. Manage system login security using PAM modules. Configuring system auditing, you should know that. SE Linux, here we go. OSCAP. If you take the Red Hat exam, if you do the if you play with anything in the RCSA and the RCE, these are like redundant. Yeah, if you're gonna have Rail, you gotta learn you gotta understand Ansible. And if you're gonna play with the satellite server, you're gonna have to understand that, right? All right, so that's one. Let's go back. All right. So I'm going to the bottom, then I'm gonna come back up. All right. So we have Linux Mastery, and then we got the Telco Cloud program. If you're gonna go work at Verizon, Ericsson, Vodafone, which hold on, just let me slide this in here. I put it in our Slack. I don't know if people paid attention to it. Let me grab it. I don't think nobody really paid attention to it, but it's all good. These are things you got to keep your ear to. Vodafone and Microsoft signed a 10-year partnership focused on Europe and Africa. Vodafone and Microsoft on Tuesday announced a 10-year strategic partnership where Vodafone will invest 1.5 billion over the next 10 years in cloud and customer-focused AI services developed in conjunction with Microsoft in Europe and Africa. Right now, Vodafone. Do y'all know who Vodafone is? Vodafone. Idea Limited automates to improve its IT infrastructure. Who is their thing? Where I put this success story up? I put it up on Red Hat, right? To increase efficiency, conserve resources, and meet compliance standards, Idea Limited chose to develop an automation solution with Red Hat by consolidating and integrating its automation tools into a unified platform. Vonda Idea Limited has saved 30% of costs year over year, reclaimed more than 1,000 working hours, and now solves automation using cases in minutes instead of hours. 18,000 employees. This is one of the use cases here. One, so you could go read this if you want to. But I'm showing you another thing. When we see Vodafone over here and Microsoft signed a 10-year deal in Europe and Africa, and they created this. Who you think is playing in the game with them? You can type Red Hat in the chat. You can type Red Hat in the chat. You can type Red Hat in the chat. Right. All right, so I just want to pull that up because you got to go look at the use cases. All right, so when we start talking about telcos, soft defined networking, cloud infrastructure, self containers, now we start getting into OpenShift. Now we start getting into storage. Now we get into multi cluster management. This is where that comes into play, but you don't have to go there either. Wait, there's more. Scroll on up. Oh, you say you want to do DevOps. Okay, so here we go. And you don't have to do all these classes. You can pick one or two and do that, right? We got OpenShift, API management, Ansible best practice, OpenShift automation and integration, OpenShift virtualization containers, OpenShift data foundation, multi-cluster management, right? So you could be in this field right here with the DevOps side, right? Containers and OpenShift. Do you go far in these lanes? Yes, you do. You do. You want to eat or you want to be on the sidelines getting crumbs? I think you all want to eat. I don't know. Maybe you want to be on the sidelines. I don't know. All right. So let's do this. Let's go. Let's do this here. Let's do this. Indeed. Let's go dice. Let's do dice today. And then let's type in OpenShift. Um, all right. So this is what dice is pulling back. I just typed in OpenShift. And let's do direct hires. Let's do contract work. And let's post in the last 7 days. All right. So let me take myself out so you all can see. Okay. So here we go. Cybersecurity engineer, Cisco workload to implement and configure Cisco workload on Red Hat OpenShift. Mm. Um, Senior network security engineer, technology engineer, cloud solutions architect. They probably just got this mixed in uh, for Java application to be deployed on OpenShift. That's probably what that is. Tester, infrastructure manager, functional testing. Again, full stack developer, AWS cloud engineer, solutions architect lead. Like the list goes on. I just typed in OpenShift. That's the only keyword that I use. Senior engineer, IaaS, cluster management, remote. Right, this was posted 6 days ago. Right now, you can come in here and do Linux system. It used to be a time when you couldn't even type in Linux system administrator. Nobody knew what that was. That wasn't even a thing. All right, so let's scroll up here. Better yet, let's do this. Let's do Red Hat Linux admin. It may be Linux um at system admin, but let's see. So we got Red Hat sysadmin level 2 that was posted 9 hours ago. Linux admin, WWT, in that the black guys company that own this, right? Linux administrator, system Linux administrator, Linux administrator again. Oh, like again, let's look at this. So sometimes I like to play around, right? Let's just do RHCE. Let's see if we pull back anything. So nothing. They don't have nothing in here for RHCE. Let's see if they got anything for RHCSA. They may or may not. All right. So they got somebody had some RHCSA stuff listed on their stuff. Looks like just 3 people. Well, I play around with all of the little acronyms and stuff because I just be wanting to see what they pull back. Let's do OpenStack. Um, Technical program manager, infrastructure architect, solutions. So we got some jobs that are pulling back. Now let me do this. Let me get rid of direct hire. Let me get rid of contract. And let's go back and do RHCE. I refuse to believe, but I guess so. Probably find more on LinkedIn or what you call it. Let's go here. Let me go to Zipper. Let's see. Okay, so on Zipper, let's type in RHCE. Let's see if we get any hits. Can't find nothing. If I type in Ansible, I probably can find something. Oh, nothing by that name, huh? Let's go over here to Dice. Oops. Let's type in Ansible here. Yeah, that's what I figured. They don't go by RHCE, they go by Ansible. So DevSecOps, network automation, Azure DevOps, infrastructure lead with Python, DevOps engineer, blah blah blah. Keep going. That's what you find in there, right? So now let's go back over to Zipper and let's do I'm just typing the word red hat. I just want to see what I'm pulling back. What happened here? Oh, that's not what I want to happen. Well, what's going on? Oh, they don't have titles. That's what it is. They're going by titles. So I would have to type in like a DevOps or that's fine. That's the titles that they got set in. They don't have like by specific certifications. They just got them by titles, which is fine. Can be convoluted when you do that too. Right. All right. So the next thing I want to show is this. So I went online and I was like, let me look up what a Linux infrastructure engineer is. Right. Let me do this. All right. That look big enough. Yeah. All right. A Linux infrastructure engineer typically needs a strong foundation in Linux system administration, along with expertise in various related technologies: Linux administration, networking, virtualization and containerization, automation, monitoring and logging, security, scripting and programming, and cloud technologies, backup and disaster recovery, communication, collaboration, and communication. Now, that sounds like a lot, but it's really not. They all kind of like go hand in hand. So, uh, I want to do this. Um, let's look at this. Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, so I wanted to talk about Red Hat architecture. You said Red Hat certification comes back with pages of pages. Depends on which certification you're looking at. So there's a ton of certifications for Red Hat. All right, so Red Hat Architecture Center showcases successful deployments of Red Hat and partners, right? So what I think you should be driving towards is being able to read diagrams. You should be able to read diagrams, right? And let me see if I can find a diagram. Because you should be able to read a diagram on how data flows, where what needs to be built in that area, and the whole nine. Let me pull this up. This is not a red hat diagram, but it's a diagram nevertheless, and we'll look at this one over here too. At some point, you should be able to look at this diagram here and read it. And let me blow it up some. At some point, you should be able to look at this diagram, read it, take that diagram, convert it into code, and then deploy it. It should be secure. It should also be, um, we like to say, infrastructure as code or codified. You should know the state of that. You should be able to tell me what's deployed on those networks. You should also let me know if it's got any type of security vulnerabilities on that network. I should be able to come to you and get all that information. Or you can send me to a place where it prints out a report or email me a report on that information. Now you like how does this tie into Linux? One, you probably would install or have some type of CLI that you're working with, whether it's WSL or PowerShell or Linux itself, right? Ubuntu, Debian, Red Hat. Tonight we're talking Red Hat. Then you should be able to install some type of tool that's going to deploy your infrastructure and then configure your infrastructure with a what we call a personality. So whether you're using Pulumi, whether you're using Ansible, whether you're using Terraform, what have you. The configuration management could be Puppet, Chef, Salt, but tonight we're talking Ansible. You should then also be able to tell me whether that deployment has any type of vulnerabilities. You don't exist in the cloud without servers. You don't exist in the cloud without networking. You do not exist in the cloud without DNS. You do not exist in the cloud without storage. This is just not possible. It's not possible. Even if it's SSD, it's just not possible. Right? So you should be able to start again. We started out with a product. The product is Linux. We then moved into not just a product of Linux, but we moved into now what can I what purpose does it serve? Can you still hear me? I'm making sure. Okay. What purpose does it serve? Who is the customer? What am I solving for that customer? Product owner, product manager, what's the product? All these things come into play with everything that I'm talking about. All right. So let's go over here and look at this here. All right. So I'm trying to keep it simple so it doesn't go over your head. Let's go with this and let's come back out. All right. So I'm going to blow this up right here. So what you see on here, they're doing a deployment for a customer putting Red Hat OpenShift on AWS. What do you think Red Hat OpenShift on AWS runs on underneath? You should know this word. We've been talking about it all night. Well, it could be two words. Do you think it's Ubuntu running underneath this for Red Hat OpenShift servers on AWS? Probably not. All right. so, so again, I'm going to deploy this. We're going to have some applications up here. We're going to have some microservices. We're going to have some AWS services for the application, and there's some external services. And then they go into here. Red Hat OpenShift clusters can be created from AWS console on the CLI, right? You're going to be on the CLI, EC2 spot instances, and so forth. And then they have a video down here. But from here, that diagram that I just showed you, you should be able to go back and make that diagram from this information here. But you're going to have to ask some questions. Here's some questions that you're going to have to ask. What APIs need to be exposed on an OpenShift cluster? Who's connect with what and how and so forth? You're going to need all of that. You're gonna need all of that. All right. Looked at the jobs. But let's get back over here to our red hat stuff. All right. Let's go to products, Red Hat Enterprise Linux. And then now let's go here to documentation. Whenever you decide that you're going to install Red Hat Linux and you're going to go get your developer license, you better read these release notes. They're your friends. If you're going to do 9.3, read the release notes. All right. Then after you read the release notes, understand that considerations for adopting Red Hat. Let's if you're gonna adopt Red Hat, getting the most from your support experience. So again, the SOS utility. Package manifest. What does that mean? What are they talking about? What is the package manifest? What are they talking about? Read it. Run the commands. Now we get into the area of installing Rail. And look how they have it broken down. They have it broken down by standard Red Hat installation. Then you have performing advanced Red Hat installation. Then you have boot options for the Rail installer, whether it's over the network or USB or whatever the case may be. And then maybe you want to customize your Anaconda. You're like, Tamika, your Anaconda? Oh my goodness, what is you doing with the Anaconda? Well, it ain't what you thinking. All right. What is Anaconda? All right. In this chapter, right? This chapter provides a step-by-step instructions for installing Red Hat Linux using Anaconda installer. The bulk of this chapter describes the installation using the graphical interface, a text mode. It's also available as well too, right? Introduction to Anaconda. The Red Hat Enterprise installer Anaconda is different from most other operating system installation programs due to the parallel nature. Most installers follow a fixed path. You must choose your language first, then you configure your network, then installation type, then partitioning. There's usually only one way to proceed after at any given time. And the conda you are required to select your language and your locale first. Then you're presented with a central screen where you can configure most aspects of the installation. This does not apply to all parts of the installation, just certain parts. So basically, Anaconda is your installer, right? That's your installer. So you can look up Anaconda installer right here. And here is the Anaconda right here by, if you wanted to, make your own customized Anaconda distribution installer, right? You could literally come here and do that for yourself. It's an open source product. It's an open source product, right? And here's some more documentation on it. You can use it in Windows as well too, right? You can use it on your Mac OS, right? It's your installer, right? So I bet you didn't know that. All right, let's go back. All right. So then, say you want to upgrade, you can upgrade. You want to make images, you can make images. But now the meat and potatoes. This is the meat. This is what I interview people over. This is what I interview people over. because I want to know, do you have you read the manual? Do you can you flip through here? Can you tell me um automated system administration roles, managing network services? And it used to didn't be like this. They used to didn't have this broke down like this. They used to have one big 600, 700 page document, and I would literally go through this document. So, with that being said, they got it broken down into security, networking, identity management, all the different sections. Look at that. Storage, clusters, virtualization, cloud, developing applications, Red Hat Insights, and Red Hat for Sale. I said I was going to make a task for myself. D, what do you think? And y'all let me know what y'all think. Should I go and make videos out of all of this? Just literally go through and make videos out of all of this? D said yes. Like doing a Red Hat install, doing a Red Hat advanced installation, creating doing Anaconda, customizing our own Anaconda, doing the install. We'd be here all year. And here they just talk about system administration basics. Let me go back. Let me go back. Here you could just download a PDF or a multi-page HTML or a single page HTML. PDF, 126 pages. That's not bad. We can knock that out. 126 pages. All right, so in here they start with networking, managing subscriptions, support, environment setup, communications between two systems with open SSH. How do you SSH between two machines? Firewall DSE Linux, system roles, managing users and groups, sudo access file systems, managing with system D, configuring time synchronization, restoring and recovering and restoring systems. Now, let's go here. RCE. Oh yeah, RHCSA. All right, let's look at the skills, the audience, exams, training. Let's look at the rapid course. Let's look at the outline of that class, which is the combination of the 124 and the 134. All right, so access and get help. Log in to local and remote systems, investigate problems, resolutions, troubleshoot them through Red Hat Insights and support. Copy, move, create, delete, manage local users and groups, control access to files, manage SE Linux, tune system performance, install update packages, manage basic storage, control services in the boot process, manage networking, analyze and store logs, implement advanced storage features, schedule future tasks, access network attached storage, manage network security, run containers. Do you think that you could use the system administration books to figure out how to do each one of these tasks? The answers are in front of you. Now you just you gotta get repetitious and understand how to do it. You gotta get repetitious and understand how to do it. Let's see. Right here is it? Yeah. All right. So here, let's go here and look at system roles. 243 pages. And then we come down in here. All right. Control node and manage nodes. Installing and using collections, Ansible, IPMI, Redfish, um, configuring kernel parameters permanently by using kernel settings, syscontrol there. RHC system role and register the system. Configure network settings by using rail system roles. Um, Firewall D, Postfix, SE Linux. This is your friend. This is your friend. This is great if you are a sysadmin person, um, and then you have to figure out how to do something and lock a system down, right? Maybe you want to lock down some workstations. Maybe you want some reporting done. All right. This would be great for you. All right. All right. So we covered the RCSA really. We covered Red Hat, um, Linux. Well, we went over the exam a little bit. What we haven't done is said, what does that mean career wise? Well, we kind of did. If you want to just go strictly Linux, if you want to stay there, but most people don't stay there. Most people go, I'm going to get my RCSA. I'm going to then get my RCE. I'm then going to move over into OpenShift. OpenShift is going to force me to learn a cloud, pick a cloud, any cloud. It's going to force me throughout all of this to understand containers and security. And at the end of the day, it's going to force me to pick between these different roles. Okay, so one of the roles that it's going to force you to pick, I said before, was this. This is your Linux infrastructure engineer. The other one, it forces you to pick if you're going to be a platform engineer. A platform engineer. What is that? Let's go back up because it's a couple of things I'm leaving out. Infrastructure is code, containerization and orchestration, continuous integration and continuous deployment or delivery, configuration management, monitoring and observability, infrastructure monitoring and logging, cloud computing platform, security, scripting and automation, collaboration and communication, version control, problem solving and troubleshooting. They all sound the same when you start looking at DevSecOps, automation engineer. SRE can get a little different, but there are some nuances where they're similar, right? So, career path wise is, do you want to be a DevOps engineer? When you want to be a cloud security engineer? Do you want to be a platform engineer? Do you want to be a site reliability engineer? It is open to you how you want to push your career. Now, people always ask this question: what does the money look like? What does the money look like? The money could look like a number of things. Whether you're going in as a professional, whether you're going in as a senior or staff, principal, or distinguished. I say it again, professional, meaning you may have just gotten a certificate. You don't have a lot of years in the industry. So you might be a professional, 3 years. It's funny because now between 5 and 7 could be senior, but usually senior is like 10 and up. So it varies depending on the company. Then you have your senior engineer, then you have your staff, then you have your um, staff, principal, and then distinguished. Now, I have brought up jobs before that were your principal. Well, that was a staff, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double. I think that was a staff. Let me look. Mm-mm. It was a download that I had with D. Oh, that's too far back. Was it this? No, no, I can't find it now. I'll probably find it when I get off. I'm looking for it. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Yeah, that's going all the way back to September. That's too far back. This was this year, I believe. And it may be in my documents, but that's okay. Nevertheless, we'll find it. 1 second. It's gone. Was it a PDFT? I can't remember. It was one of the employee job offers, and we had it up, and we were talking about it, and then we blinked things out. Yeah, that's not it. That's not blinked out. I know you had sent it to me, but maybe I didn't download it. It's all good because I wanted to show you the difference between a staff and then a principal. But I can show you online though. Because a staff person, a staff engineer, it could be someone that may be the offer may be depending on the location here. It could be 250 on the staff. And then the principal person could be um 290. Um in that range. It could be a range on that 290 as well too. So you want to get to the point where you all are Swiss Army knives, like I said before, where you can go in between, in and out of understanding CI/CD, Linux, um, deployments, containers, and that's across the board. And even as a Linux admin, I don't know if y'all been paying attention, because Linux admins need to understand containers and they need to understand infrastructure as code and Linux. But you're doing more troubleshooting at that era versus you're creating on the platform side. You're creating the platform. You're creating the pipeline for those services to be deployed. Versus the SRE, you may be creating the API endpoints and troubleshooting and doing observability. You do observability in platform too, right? Because you got a platform, you need to find out what's the bottleneck on those endpoints. So it could be a number of things. However, the reason why I introduced you to looking at stuff from a product perspective is so you can understand the value it brings to the bottom line of the employer, the customer, and where your skill sets can grow. Customer service wise, even if you are 1099, you still need to have that same attitude because your customer is paying your bills. so you can eat. So you got to make sure that you are doing what you're supposed to do so that customer can keep paying you. You don't want to be on the sideline like, I ain't gonna never get paid because you don't have no customers. I mean, does that make sense? Put a one in the chat. Let me know. You gotta have customers. If not, you just over there just wasting away. Cool. All right. So D, I know there was some questions in the comments, and I purposely missed them. Did I miss any more? No. Okay. So the understanding the red hat perspective. I'm not saying that red hat is the all to be all. That's all you need to know. But I kind of am. But I'm just trying to get you to zone in on where red hat touches, right? Um, and what products red hat has, and what products red hat has. All right. Let me look. I'm trying to look at all of Red Hat um, customers. Okay, here we go right here. Companies using Red Hat Linux for apps development include Cardinal Health, um, Cigna Healthcare, um, Stellantis, and this is just not all of them. You got all of DoD, all of DOE that use it. Um, HP, Dell, um, the list goes on. Porsche, BMW, whatever the case may be, they all use it, right? But in what capacity do they use it in? Is what you have to find out. And what products are they using? That's why you always ask in the court in an interview, what's your tech stack? You need to find out what people tech stack is, right? Um, let's see. Let's look here. And don't think that IBM don't use Red Hat. They own them. All right, here we go. UPS, Magellan Aerospace, Harris Company, St. Gobain, Oak Ridge. There we go. Oak Ridge National Laboratory, Raytheon. Um, and then here is the locations, right? 585 companies, 352, 43, 210, 227. And trust me, out here in Hawaii, there's companies out there. Same way with there, right? New York, most definitely. Chicago, Texas, most definitely. Alabama, Colorado, most definitely. You can go anywhere. You can go anywhere, right? Um, I guess this is no the revenue, and then the industries in which they play in: technical, manufacturing, finance, education, business service, healthcare, government, retail, transportation, insurance, energy, telecommunications, media, construction, organizations, wholesale, chamber of commerce, cultural, agricultural, law firms, metals and mining, entertainment. Awesome. There's 25 companies, but I it won't let me just download it. So next thing, hmm I'm trying to find out their global customers, and there's probably gonna be some case studies you're gonna have to download from Red Hat to see who their customers are. But any customer that they have, you can look up and see do they have a global footprint, and 9 times out of 10 you'll find that customer has that global footprint, and which Red Hat is part of that global footprint. But I can't find it right now. But it gives you an idea. All right, here we go. This will be sufficient. This is a breakdown of customers by country. By far, the biggest one is the US. But if you want to go to the United Kingdom, Taiwan, Canada, Hong Kong, Australia, you most definitely can do that. But by far, the US is their biggest customer. Now, if you want to go to the United Kingdom, I guarantee you all these play in the security realm and compliance here. So you can lean on that part of Red Hat. I'll also look at OpenShift, OpenStack, satellite server, all the things that I mentioned. D, I'm done. I hope y'all had fun tonight. I hope it was informative. I have a whole lot more to go, but I don't want to make it a 3 hour video. Cause I sure can easily make it a 3 hour video. But now you understand product, you understand life cycle, you understand how scale agile fits into this product owner, product management. Um, I didn't bring solution architect into this, but there are things you need to understand, and you need to understand it at a high level and then drop real down to a minute, small detail level. That makes you lethal. That gets people asking how you got here. And that gets people at questioning themselves because they don't understand how you got here. I was just being honest.
Good information.
Oh yeah, y'all welcome. I mean, there's still this here with the DevOps.
You ramping back up?
No, with DevOps. I'm just looking at the scale agile. Uh,
Do you want me to share that with the audience?
yeah, I'm just looking at the scale agile thing here. This is your friend. This is your friend. This is your friend. And the reason why I say it's your friend is because when y'all are looking at positions and you want to know what does the Scrum Master actually do, you can go figure that out from here. What is DevOps? What is the Agile release train? What a shared services? What does that look like? What is continuous integration, continuous exploration? All that is there. It's all laid out for you. And every one of your jobs, every one of the every last one of your jobs follow these things here. Eh, to not to a fault, but they follow them maybe loosely. But this is a guideline. It's a bumper car. It's like you going bowling and the little bumper cars come up. I don't like this view, D. I don't like it. You're on mute. Thank you. It just looked like we got cut off and squished down.
I erase that view. I don't like when we're like super huge as well, but it does weird things. When it's just you, I don't get it. I deleted the second person, but it still comes up for some reason.
All right. So um I'll
Mm-mm.
probably do another breakdown next week. Um I'm debating on if I'm gonna do Susie or stick with Red Hat or do a versus. Maybe I should do a versus. And we should make some theme music on versus.
We isn't you.
Mm-mm. We should make some theme music on our versus. Susie versus Red Hat. Who will
Susie
win?
versus Red Hat.
Mm-hmm.
The verses.
Mm-hmm.
We getting all type of strikes for that.
Why? It's just Susie versus Red Hat. Why would we get in strikes for that?
Depends on what content we use. I don't. It'd probably be a versus.
Come on through, Bella. Is that in the Slack? When you say that, what you mean? I'm not sure what you're asking about.
Mm,
What
I don't
is
know if
what?
it's in the Slack. It probably is, but we've talked about it in here a lot.
No,
Probably
we.
the safe agile the method that was just up.
Oh, you can download those things. I take my enterprise solution architect class this week. Let me look. I have them downloaded and I should upload them tonight
Mm, mm, mm.
because they have a safe with AI as well too. That's a new class that they got coming out. I'll download the I downloaded them already. I'll upload them tonight. I'll make a agile. It may already be one out there.
I think
Um,
it's that agile channel already that was made.
okay, I'll throw it in there. Yeah, SUSE Linux server, a direct competitor to Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Been around 18 years. See, Red Hat market share. Red Hat has 19% in its IT service market. Red Hat competes with 57 competitors. The top alternatives for Red Hat IT service tool, 20%, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. I thought Red Hat had 54%, but that may be OpenShift. And one of the other reasons why Red Hat is so popular is because it's a real time operating system. So RTOS. So you can go play around with that acronym.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, Bella, um, come on through for your coaching call um, to guide and so forth. And then I'm gonna leave it off with this. D. I, I keep my ear to the street on all the controversy out there, not just the not just the three CompTIA exams, but you know the whole who's a scam, who's not, who getting called to the red carpet. All I want to say is this: I think I have provided receipts. I think you all know where to find them at. In fact, I screenshotted them. You can do a short on them. We've had a ton of people come that offer jobs. Um, I've shown job offers. The only thing I haven't shown is paycheck stubs.
I mean, you want to give your firstborn child some blood? I mean, what else can you give? I mean, it's actual people in the group that have followed the directions and are thriving. I mean, you know me. Hey, what could you do? What more can you do?
I have not shown paycheck stubs. If I show paycheck stubs, they take the channel down.
Hmm?
They take the channel down.
You know, I don't even want folks in my business like that. Like, it don't matter. It don't matter. I mean, every time you give somebody like a chunk of something, it's like you can't win for losing. So why even go? Like, what's the purpose? What's the purpose? If you showed your pay check stubs, they're gonna say I did that stuff on Canva. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But no,
Like,
I wouldn't even show up from there. I would literally log in
they'll
to
say you
to
made that website. Like, it's a clone
I would
website.
literally log in and be like, look,
Yeah, they'll tell you
this
it's a clone.
this is the deposit. Here's the deposit. It hit on Wednesday. It hit on Friday.
That's not real. That's an application model. That's the website. That's wire diagram. Like, it's
You using AI.
yeah, it's just a demo. What are you talking about?
Um so um I'm saying that to say this. Is it possible to be in this industry with Linux and just follow Red Hat model and their products, I should say, products platform, and just be totally zoned in on that? Yes. Is it lucrative? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so let me explain when I say lucrative. Let me explain that because I don't want no misconceptions. When I say lucrative, I'm literally speaking 250 to 350 range. W2. It could be 1099 where it is depending on who call you. 100 to 500 depending on who call you. I don't have no reason to lie to you on that.
I mean, they can go look it
Mm,
up. It's Indeed, like it's plenty of things. Like, I mean, hey, we do a lot of footwork for the people,
just
but we were closing down.
no, wait,
Wait, what?
wait,
For what?
and wait. There's more.
I'll just say, let's just drop a contract for your firstborn child. Like, just hey,
Mm, don't do that, D. Hold on. Do 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 do. All right, hold on. Let me see. Let me see. All right, hold on. I think this. I think I can show this. It's not a paycheck stub. Don't worry about it. Cause I know you looking like it's just a paycheck stub.
just don't put your social security number on the internet.
Girl, they not.
If
They not.
you're not using preview to redact it, they'll unveil the black on the thing by removing all of the layers in the video. Like, it's just not worth it.
I'm not. I'm just gonna pull. Hold on. I can do this. Can I do this? Yeah, I can do this. Well, no, I can't do that. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna cut and paste from this PDF. And those that been to the meetup, you've seen this already before. All right. Cut and paste. Cool, cool. This is a cut and paste from a PDF. I am now going to make this big. And then, okay, yeah. So we good to go there. And then we'll make this bold. And we're ready to go. Well, no, I'll unbold it. I'll just bold this part up. I mean, I'll bold this up. Okay, I'm ready, D. Okay, so, oh, whatever. Anyway,
Can you make that bigger for us to see? We've been straining all night. And I've been
how?
trying to remove you so I can make the screen bigger, but you continue to debate me in the back on
Did
my what I'm supposed to be doing. Just press Control Plus to make that bigger.
that better? See, if you just take me down, it'll be bigger. You just take
No,
me all the way out.
it's not gonna be any bigger.
See? Much bigger.
No, it's the
Anyway,
same.
it's not. S- Okay, thank you. So, all right. So, look. So, contract work, right? Mm, This contract, the way it worked was it's actually the first 2 months, 200 an hour for the first two months, possible three, and they pay for shipping, food, and apartment. Then because the contract was for a year with a 2-year extension, it'd be 180 an hour. So D, you want to do the math? D don't want to do the math. Okay, so let's do the math. Okay, so 200 times 40 hours times 4 times 2. So that would be for 2 months. 1099, so you can figure that out. Now 160 320. So 2080 minus 320. How they configure it. 1760 times 180. That'll be what you have left plus the throw the 64,000 back in there. That's what you would have made for the year on as a company. As a company. Why is that important? Because now as the employer and employee 401k contribution limit is now 69,000. So now you could bring down your taxable income by 69,000. That's the important part there. I'm just trying to show you what it could look like for you, where you can get in, where you fit in. Here's the one last little thing, and then we out of here. D. I haven't heard any government layoffs. Save your back. You better save your back and your fingers and your hands. What's going on, Miss Ward? So I'm just showing you what it could be, what it could look like, what the possibilities are. I stayed. I've stayed with Red Hat. Kubernetes is usually Debian and SUSE, just because it's deploying in cloud. But you could be just straight OpenShift. You could be just straight OpenStack. Heather knows she's out there. She'll tell you. You know anybody who else works there at 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 um at IBM or Red Hat or adjacent to them, they will tell you those same things. So you all figure out where you want to be, what you want that to look like. Go down that path. Um, you're gonna have to be a Swiss Army knife and get into it. You can specialize. You can be like, look, I'm specializing. All I'm doing is containers, or all I'm doing is OpenShift. You could do that. Well, if you want to do the GovTech thing, Linux, Ansible, Security Plus, have somebody sponsor your clearance because you had the experience and the certs in there. Backdoor it, boom, you're done. Get a secret, get your secret upgraded to top secret. Have somebody read you on a SEI project. Once you get the SEI project, push up to get a polygraph. Once you get the polygraph, then ride that out. Yeah, that's about it. But that's what's cool about the whole Linux thing. You can kind of like maneuver the locations that you like. Oh, and I'll say this for Lee. The number one place that is growing for black people and has a multitude of jobs is Utah. I know. I know. But we're moving to Utah. Yep. Black people are moving to Utah. They like we out of here. We out of here. Let me. I when I read that out because I was getting ready to move to Utah. I was on the verge. I was like, I should go to Utah. I don't know. Utah. I don't know about Utah. I was like, what does that look like? Because I visited Utah. I was like, what y'all doing out here? Oh, do y'all like each other out here? I don't know. I was wondering. All right, here's the thing. I'll talk about it on Saturday. I don't know. QCOM is there. It says Utah has experienced the fastest growth in its black population from 2010 to 2022, with an increase of 86%. The black populations of Hawaii and Nevada increased by 57 and 56%. 86%. That's almost 90%. They almost doubled. 100% doubled. People are like, we out here in Utah. We out here. So I'm gonna be breaking down Utah and the economy and what's going on in Utah. I know what's going on in Utah. BA systems and quantum computing and high performance computing. Um, Data centers, correct. You can see Nevada, but Utah, yeah, Utah. Yep, Utah. And that just may be one of them things where you get ahead of the game, right? Just maybe one of the things you get ahead of the game there. But we're gonna find out. We'll be in Utah this year. Yep. So be on the lookout, folks. Be on the lookout, folks. You might find yourself in Utah. Wyoming for Wyoming is for DAOs, DAO, and business opportunity and blockchain and crypto and some farming, of course. But that's what I've been seeing with Utah. Not Utah, but Wyoming. You can get a house for 85,000 in Salt Lake City. I ain't much, but it's doable. And then they shoot up to 3.2 for 439, 1,000 square feet. Little small homes too. You got to find out what the outskirts is and the commute and the traffic patterns out there. Townhomes at 500. That's about right for what it was in Colorado. Townhomes and so forth. That's about right. You just got to figure out what your what your tolerance is. You got to find what all the black people at because they number 1.5% out there, or 2%, maybe 3, maybe 3. Let me see. 1.6. You got to find out what a 1.6 at. 90% white, 1.6% black, 2.8% Asian. You're gonna be buying all your hair products off of Amazon. All right, D. I'm officially done. Catch y'all on, catch y'all in Utah. Y'all be safe.